So to my future wife, my last request is, will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes, rather to my future wife.
That was so nice of you. I really liked it. Okay, guys. Hi. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends with the time you're watching. Welcome to my show. It's your girl Adao again. Welcome to Eating and Talking Show with Adao. Today I'm with the good guy from South Sudan. He do poems. He go by the name K2. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. There's nothing good like having food in front of you. So
I
once
know, right?
once food is in front of you, the rest is noise. So I'm doing fine.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, let me be honest with you. I started my show, I think, last month or 2 months ago. And then the people I did an interview with, they have
Never
any.
eaten.
So you're the first one.
Black man with a blessing.
I hope
Yes.
this table will never be empty.
The first supper.
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome. You can have a
Thank you.
eat.
So we test first, eh?
Yeah.
So if we can know if the show is all about eating, eh? Okay, that's good. Alright.
Okay. Thank you for coming, man.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate. Can you tell them who's K2?
Yeah, so physically, as you can see, K2 is to start with, is a dark black guy, melanin guy, if I may say. I'm a South Sudanese. I'm a poet. That's what I do full time. So I do poetry / spoken word. I'm a son to someone. I'm an uncle. What else? Yeah, and I'm a friend to be of this channel right now. So that's K2. The short intro, yeah.
So what you do actually is a spoken word.
Spoken word. So I do poetry. So basically, poetry has different categories. Yeah. So we have 3 categories of poetry. We have lyrical poetry, and what I do now, which is narrative, and then there is now dramatic poetry. So basically, lyrical poetry is all about the writing on the books, the poems that you read on the books. Dramatic poetry is what you see in theaters, people acting, and then you guys are watching live. And then now the narrative poetry is now in form of telling a certain thing, but in form of a story. You are narrating it. So basically, I do narrative poetry because I'm very good at talking. I'm very talkative. And that's why we're eating and talking.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. When did you start it?
Yeah, I started poetry back. It started like a joke back in high school. That was back in 2016, 2014, 2016. And then professionally, when I now started becoming serious, I was in 2017. That's when I did my first performance of poetry. And afterwards, as they say, the rest is history. And by the way, my first performance out of school was here in Nakuru at Nakuru Player Theatre. So that's where I first got my pay, which was very huge.
You got paid?
Yeah, I got paid a very huge amount of money, which was 230 shillings.
But I heard that you shouldn't mention the money. You shouldn't.
No, come on. So long as I haven't mentioned the company that we were doing. 200 shilling.
200,000
No,
shilling.
not 200,000. 200 shilling. Back then, starting off as an artist, there's a lot of money. The others that just go there, cut and raise, and you walk from town to home. So at least I had something to board a matatu and buy some MBs to go and watch what I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, can you take us through a small poem?
A small poem. Oh, so I do a poem, huh? Let me do a poem. So this is for since I'm with a lady, yeah. So I'll do a poem called A Letter to My Future Wife. But I hope if a letter to my future wife.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah.
Okay, imagine I'm your future wife.
Yes, but don't be serious, madam may. Yeah. So to the young beautiful lady outside there that will one day be my wife, the mother to my 19 unborn children. Yes, you heard me right, 19. The new pure generation I want her to give birth to. The one that will have the other portion of my heart. The one that I'll even call babe before we even have one. Hi. Allow me to introduce myself from a far distance before we even meet. I go by the name Chol Matiop Chol, but most people call me K2. I'm a poet, so I fell in love with the words before I even fall for it. And I'm sorry for that, please forgive me. I'm from a motherland that gives birth to tall, dark giants. That's South Sudan. I was raised and brought up by an African mother who taught me that, my son, when choosing a wife, don't let the natural allowances that they have deceive you. You see, she may have mountains on her back, but when you guys quarrel in a relationship, the echo of the sounds may make the mountain crumble and end the marriage. So choose from the heart and the mentality that she has. I don't know what type of men you like, but 3 things define me. I'm tall, dark, and the other one I leave it up to you to decide when we meet physically. But please don't disappoint me, don't break my heart. I'm not bragging by saying all of this, but honestly speaking, I think I'm a full package. I'm a type of a man that will give you morning kisses, slow morning kisses on a Monday, tight warm hugs on a Tuesday, flatter with you the entire Wednesday, show you about how to handle hardship in life on a Thursday, take you to my parents for blessings on a Friday, make babies on a Saturday,
Which is weekends.
and then go on our knees and tell the Almighty Father, thank you for the life that you've given us on a Sunday. So how lucky are you? So we may have not met yet, but something tells me that you've got a cute face, a face that reflects the brighter future that we'll have and the family that we'll raise together. We may have not met yet, but something tells me that you've got a personality that will make my daughter proud to call you a mother and a role model. We may have not met yet, but something tells me that you've got manners that will teach my son how to treat ladies like a gentleman. So, to your neighbor who's now stalking on you wherever he is, tell him that he's wasting his time. Because destiny has already told me that you and I are meant for each other. And in case we don't meet here on earth, then I'm 100% sure we'll meet in the afterlife. So to my future wife, my last request is, will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes, whether to my future wife.
That was so nice of you. I really liked it.
Thank you.
I also watched a video of you on YouTube
Yes.
that of something to do with Kakuma.
Yes.
Can you take us through that?
So basically, let me make this clear. Most of the time, people will ask me, what does your name mean, K2? So I'm making this clear today for whoever that is outside there, for those that know of me but never know the meaning of my name. So basically, K2, since you've asked about what you just asked now, K2 basically means my name, which is K. The first K stands for, I was born in Kenya, in Kakuma. That's where I was born. So the first K represents Kenya, which is the country. The second K represents Kakuma, which is the town. So instead of saying 2 Ks, I decided to flip it a bit and become K2. So now to answer what you asked. So since you said I talked about Kakuma, yeah? Acha nipate nguvu kidogo. Yeah, so since you asked about Kakuma, yeah, so since I was born there, I've been born in Kakuma, and what it basically tells, once you hear about Kakuma, have been a refugee from the first time I was born, first hour I came out of my mother's womb. I was a refugee. So Kakuma has a very big place in my heart. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born. That's where I've had friends. That's where I've had experiences of life, knowing what life is. So basically, Kakuma has a very big place in my heart. So basically, back in the days, I would always ask my mom and dad. For those of you who are refugees, I'm 100% sure that most of you relate with this. I used to ask my mom, why is it that every now and then we're being provided food for, and we don't get it for ourselves. So my mom or my dad will always tell me that once you become an adult, you'll understand this in the future. So now when I now became an adult, that's when I understood. Also, we've been refugees all this time around. There's political instability back at home, so that's why we are here. So throughout now that the name refugee was stuck in my head. So I told myself one time, if I have a chance or a platform to tell a story on me being a refugee, then one time I'll talk about it. So that is how I came up. So once I became a poet, I decided this was now the perfect opportunity to talk about my struggles as a refugee, not only about me but on behalf of those who are watching too that are refugees. Yeah, so that is basically about it. So I talked about how the life as refugee, what we go through in the camp, what our people have gone through back at home to come here. Not only in Kakuma, we have refugees in Uganda, we have others in Ethiopia, we have others who have been taken by the UN to Canada, Australia. So if you go and see the poem, basically I'm talking about everything to do with a refugee, the difficulties, what you go through, and what is needed to get over these challenges as a refugee. Yes, so basically.
Okay, I have never been in Kakuma,
Yes.
but I heard that
Please make an effort
okay,
to go.
I will go. Those guys who are in Kakuma are very talented
Yes.
in terms of music, school,
Yes.
but they are down.
Yeah.
Is that
So
true?
very true. There's nowhere that does not have talent. And when you say guys in Kakuma are very talented, that is why UN came up with a talent show called Kakuma Got Talent. If you've ever heard of it, it happens every year. Every year. So
In Kakuma?
so we're having it. The auditions are starting I think date 17 this month. Auditions if you're in Kakuma 1, Kakuma 2. Unajua Kakuma imecategoriziwa into different parts. There's Kakuma 1, Kakuma 2, 3, Kakuma 4. And we live in groups. So there is group 1, like me, I'm in group 11, I'm in zone 2. So basically Kakuma has a lot of talent. But now the thing is, since it's already a camp, so most of the time you'll find that there is financial instability a lot. So you'll find that most of the time watu wengi hawapati those chances, platform to showcase their talent. So I really thank the UN for coming up with such a talent show called Kakuma Got Talent. It has really helped a lot of young youth. Last time the so-called I think you know this guy Octopizzo, the Kenyan rapper. So he was an ambassador to Film Aid to search for talent in Kakuma. That was back in the days in 2013, 2014. So this guy will go there. So I remember, so let me interrupt. I remember there's this time this guy went there, that was 2014. So this guy was a huge star back then. He was the talk of Kenya hip hop. So there's a time
He went to Kakuma?
Yeah, he went to Kakuma because he was an ambassador there. So I remember there's this time once he did his show, now he was getting into his car to move. So everybody wanted to associate with him. So you'll do whatever for you to. So imagine the car was leaving and I was running after the car. I fell down, the car stopped, and then he rolled down the window and told me, there's this term that he used to use back then, he would say swag. So he told me, when he mweusi, lakini kukua mweusi ni swag. Until today, that was 2014, hiyo kitu huwa ina stack. So this guy has played a very big role in talent. So watu wako na talent, we have rappers, we have poets, we have singers, we have artists who can draw. But now the financial instability in the camp is what's making these people not to be known outside here. Yes, we have many talent. Like talking of talent, there's this boy recently that sorry, I'm forgetting the name, that took Australia to the World Cup. What was his name? I can't remember his name. Awir, yeah. So this guy was from Kakuma.
Okay.
Yes. So you see,
Oh,
so
yeah.
from
A basketballer.
footballer.
A footballer?
Yeah, Australia.
Okay.
So from Kakuma to playing in Australia and taking Australia to the World Cup. So imagine the number of talents that are in there that are not yet known, just because of the financial instability.
So Kakuma is full of talent.
Very, very, very. Yes.
Do you do poems in Dinka?
In Dinka. That question I've been asked a lot, but I believe that as a poet, we are the voice of the community. And when we talk about community, we are not only talking about a specific ethnic group of people. We're talking about if it's Kenyans, we have Ethiopians, we have in general Africa, or not only even Africa but outside. Because whatever that I'm going through right now, anyone around the world may be going through it too. So the reason as to why most of the time I'm not in support of doing poetry in my mother tongue is because what of those people out there that can't listen to my mother tongue? How will the message get to them? How will the message get to them? How will they understand what I'm saying? How will it impact their life? So I've never done a poem in my mother tongue. I've only done a poem I only do poems in Swahili and English, because Swahili is widely spoken in Africa. It's a very huge language, and English, obviously, it's a global language. So I don't see myself doing any poem very soon, unless maybe if I'm in my 70s, maybe that's when I'll be talking to my old men.
Okay, let me ask you, what if your father or your uncles
Yes.
who don't know English or Swahili,
Yes.
they want to listen to you?
Yes.
How do they understand it?
I guess my siblings or your siblings. Let's say if I do it in English right now. Right now we're in a civilized world, so you'll find people watu wameenda shule, unaweza sikia. So mtu akisikia poem yangu in English, alafu like I remember there's a one time my dad was in I think in Juba at that time. So there's a time my poem, one of my poems, the refugee one, got I think I'm not sure, but it got played on SSBC, the national TV. So my dad was in a hotel, akaiona. So he was like, "This is my black boy." Eh? And then the boys were there, the old men were like, "No, that's not him. What is he doing on this big TV? Yet he's still in school." So he will call me now and ask me that, "What are you doing on national TV?" So now I will tell him I'm doing this and that, but the more explanation will be done by my siblings who are with him there, who have gone to school. So it's very easy for the siblings to translate it to them. But my main target right now is a majority of youth. 70 or 80% of them go through what I go through as a youth myself.
Yeah, sure.
So it's very good when I target them. Then if by any chance they now take it to their parents, yeah.
So your father didn't know that you do poem?
He didn't know. He thought I was just only, I think my dad gave me this habit of talking too much. My dad talks too much. He's well known in terms of talking in my community. So he will call me and say, so I see now that nimekubariki na kuongea. So what are you saying on TV? So he didn't know that I used to do poetry, because he's a guy of the olden age type. Yeah. So but until now I started explaining to him and telling him that whatever that I'm doing is what's giving me money to buy what I'm wearing. So I can't ask for you. I can't ask for money from you again. So he saw the positive side of it. Yeah.
Okay, can you take us through the refugees poem?
Refugee poem, a bit.
A bit.
Yes. So hi. So I'm from South Sudan. Yeah, I know. You've all probably heard of the country. So that's my motherland. And because of civil war, I've got brothers and sisters staying in every part, all over continents. I've got others in Australia, others in Kenya, others in Kakuma. And thanks to my United Nations and the Kenyan government, I'm still living with others in Kakuma. Our negative stories have been told in every part of the world. And whenever we think it's coming to an end, that's when it starts. The other day I tried calling mom to ask her how everybody was doing back at home. She picked up, but she seems to have been in a hurry. So when I tried talking to her, all I could hear was, son, son, son. And before she hung up, I had a gunshot. At this time I knew a child somewhere has become an orphan, someone's father has become a victim of death, a woman has been turned into a widow, a massacre had taken place. This was 15th December 2013, a year that made me believe death really exists. And this got me asking my father, Dad, what has always been your dream in this country? He took me by the hands, looked into my eyes and started shedding tears and says, son, I've never had a dream because I've never slept. How do you expect me to sleep when all I've been doing is running in the bushes, protecting you guys from flying bullets? How do you expect me to sleep and whenever I close my eyes, I'm being woken up by sounds of innocent women, children, men crying for their lives? How do you expect me to sleep when the floor I'm supposed to sleep on is full of blood? And that's why nowadays, I'm not known by my name. I'm known as a refugee. Yes.
Oh, so thank you. So
Yes.
nice and emotional. Yeah.
Don't cry.
Yeah, sure. So is that 2013
Yeah,
war?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
making-
yeah. They are. This it was basically inspired by me being a refugee, and what led to me being a refugee is the same thing that happened in 2013 when the war broke out and people had to run to refuge in these countries. That is now in Kenya, here in Kakuma. So basically, during that time, I lost some relatives during that time, and their soul rest in peace wherever they are. So like I had lost some relatives back then, the 2013 elections. So like basically my message in this poem, apart from me talking about refugees, I'm talking to my people back at home. I'm telling you guys, it's been decades now. It's been 30 decades since 1992 when the refugee camps here in Kakuma and Dadaab were open. It's been 30 years. Some of us have grown here. Some of us have never even seen how our motherland looks. And what am I trying to say? It's because of what's happening back at home. I'm calling upon people that are there at home, please. Peace is very important. If we have peace right now at home, I'm not saying it's bad, but we wouldn't have been in foreign countries doing what we're doing in foreign countries and thinking about our people back at home. We'll have been at home right now, we'll have been with our family members. Some of us have never seen our family members since we were born. So my message to people back at home basically is just, manze mukwe na amani, you guys should have peace. We need peace at home, we need peace so that we can go back home and build our country. We need peace at home so that we have a life there. We need peace at home so that we go and tell our stories. So that's what I'm trying to talk about in this point. And whoever that is watching this, whoever you are, wherever you are, we really miss peace. We really miss peace, and we want peace back at home.
We have it.
Yes.
We have it now.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite poetry?
Favorite poet? Yeah, there's a poet called, he's a Kenyan poet, he's called Mufasa. He's called Mufasa. This Mufasa, he's one of the best poets in Kenya right now. I'm sorry, I'm happy that we've shared some stage moments with him.
Oh, you have ever met him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've ever met him. Yeah, I went to his workshop when he had a workshop whereby he will mentor poets back in Eldoret. Eldoret is his hometown. He's called Kibet. He's a Kalenjin.
The hometown name.
Yeah. He's called Kibet by his name. His hometown is in Nandi County. So I had a light moment of meeting him. We talked, we exchanged words. So he's a guy that has mentored me a lot. Apart from that, there's an international poet now who's called Rudy Francisco. He's an international poet. He's from the US. Yeah, so this is a guy that has done a lot of poems. He's a guy that I follow up a lot. He's a guy that at times I mimic what he does in my mirror when I'm in my room reciting my poems. Yeah, and then there is Teardrop. He's a Shen Swahili spoken word artist, one of the best in Kenya so far. So those are some of my best poets around. Yeah.
Okay.
And myself, yes.
The upcoming.
I wouldn't say I'm upcoming now. Whoever that is watching me, they know. I'm not trying to brag, but from where I've reached right now, I think I'll call the other person coming now upcoming.
Okay. What is that one thing our country people don't know about the spoken word, especially South Sudanese?
One thing that our country people don't know about poetry, some of the spoken word. Poetry isn't that well accepted back at home. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but what is more accepted back at home are community songs. Yeah, that is why I'm sorry to say this, but that is why you'll find that South Sudanese music hasn't gone that globally. Yeah, if you see Kenya right now, we have the likes of Calligraph, we have the likes of Otile Brown, of which I know you ladies like him very much.
I like him.
Is he your crush?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. So we have the likes of Otile Brown in Nigeria, Wizkid, Tanzania, we have Diamond, Congo, we have Fally Ipupa. Whoever that you are at home in the comment section, tell me one South Sudanese artist that is well known globally. Apart from Emmanuel Jal that I know, tell me one South Sudanese artist that is well known globally.
We have John Frog.
John Frog.
Yeah.
John Frog. John Frog. You wouldn't say is an international artist. I'm not.
He is.
I'm not hating.
He is.
You know who's an international artist?
He is.
An international artist is someone who has sold out shows in big arenas, who have done shows with these big companies that are outside there. The likes of Kina Wizkid, they have sold out there's this arena in southern London, in the UK.
John Frog is coming.
Yeah, then,
He is.
Yeah, say he is an international artist in the making, but he's not yet an international artist. I'm not hating though. I like Gondo Circuit. I like Action and Energy. Yes, so but so basically our art isn't that accepted. Poetry isn't that accepted. You'll find that people prefer consuming local content sana kuliko the exploring different genre of music, which is very bad. So poetry isn't that well accepted. So like you'll find that most of the time whenever I'll do shows, rarely do I get gigs from our fellow South Sudanese. So I'll get gigs from Kenyans who are the people that I've worked with for a long time right now. So poetry isn't that well accepted, and it's a very big. It plays a very big role. Poetry talks a lot. Poetry talks a lot about many things that people are missing out here. We have many poets who are not well known, and these guys are doing well. We have the likes of Poet Mabach. We have Poet Ayen. Like we have these poets who.
But Poet Ayen.
Yeah, she's a female poet. She's in currently right now she's in Nairobi. So she's a well poet, but people are not consuming the content. Why? Because they believe like when we speak English, we're trying to mimic the Western world. So they kind of like, which is very bad. We're in a civilized generation century right now.
But for me, I think people should mix it
with our language.
With our language.
So now the other disadvantage is people like us. Poetry is so deep. So when you talk about poetry, you must talk about deeper things. And in our language now, to talk about deeper things, you must be fluent in it. And people like us who have grown up in Kenya, tutauma meno when we try to write things in our language. So at times you may go and talk in your language, and the message may be misunderstood because of how you've narrated it badly. Yeah, so I think that is the other reason as to.
Okay, what are your worst moments?
My worst moment as a poet, it happened recently. It was in, I won't disclose the location of what we were doing, but it was in a certain conference that we were doing. So I went there to represent a certain organization that I kind of work with. So on the table or on the conference that we're having with were big guys. We had scientists who were seated there. We had the doctors. We had these big guys. So I was kind of like freaked out on what if I say something that is very local to these guys, because these people talk seriously about a lot of things. So what if I say something that is too local? So I kind of like now wanted to introduce myself. So I introduced myself and said, I was tense, nilikuwa nimeogopa sana. So nikaamka nikasema, yes, so my name is Joel Matiop. I'm from this organization. So basically it's an organization with the word initiative refused to come out very well in my mouth. So I remember saying, so it is an initiative, and then I kept quiet. Then I tried saying again, it is an initiative 4 times. People were laughing. So I was kind of embarrassed because I'm not used to this thing of being freaked out. So I think that was my moment that was, I think, the worst recently, because I kind of like feel I did not represent the organization very well. And it kind of like made me feel very bad. The other thing, my worst moments in poetry, it happened once time that I performed. Do you know this thing of ukona expectation that nikienda kufanya hii poem watu watati, then you go on stage, you're performing, no reaction, people are seeing you, and then once you are done, they say, ooh, and but okay. such moments
it has never happened to you?
Yeah, it has never happened to me.
Once?
Yeah, like I think twice. But I think hizo vitu zilinifunza sasa to go back to the drawing board and do more and then from since then hajaifanyika on stage. Most of my reactions nowadays are very positive, are very good. Yeah, so I think those are some of the worst moments that I've had as a poet.
Okay, that's
yes.
not the worst moment. Yes. It's all about learning. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I saw in your TV.
Uh-huh.
About and you talked about
a
new album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was recently on. I'll do too much of eating from on further. So I was recently I was on KU TV, that is Kenyatta University TV. Mm-hmm. I was launching my.
How did you find yourself in it?
It's they reached out.
Okay.
Someone saw my work, mm-hmm. recommended it to them. They loved it. They reached out, and we set up a date when I should come for the interview from a very good friend of mine who's called Karen, Karen Blessing. So I went there. I was launching my EP. Mm-hmm. I was launching my EP, The Son of the South. So basically, an EP is in a very simple term, is a halfway album. Let's say a short form of an album. Let's say if your album has 14 or 15 songs, an EP will have 6 or 5. Mm-hmm. And so I was launching my EP. It was my EP tour, media tour. So I was going there to promote it, Son of the South, of which it happened that I never launched it because some financial instability. So I'm still working on it. Right now. So yeah, we had a very good discussion. Tuliongea mambo nzuri. I talked about our culture, South Sudanese. Yeah, I was selling the culture. I was even selling when I did the early letter to my future wife poem over there, and I was selling the market of you, our ladies of South Sudanese. Yes.
You want us to get married outside?
Someone is watching. Let me not talk. I may end up going home and answering a lot of questions.
Yeah. You see that the name of the album is
Son of the South.
why?
Son of the South, basically, I'm a South Sudanese, so I believe that my country, my country is my mother. Yes, so I'm the son of the South, so I'm a South Sudanese. In other words, that's what I'm trying to say. So because it talks about many things about me, it talks about many things about our country. So it was good if I.
When is the album coming out?
The EP basically. I'm still working on it right now. There's some things that didn't go well and some projects that need financial support. So until that is done, that's when I'll update you guys when it comes. From right now, I can't really tell.
You can talk to them and tell them about your album. They can support you maybe.
So like man, like I'm having some hard times releasing my EP. That is my halfway album. So if by any chance if you want to reach out and support in anyhow, on my social media platform, on Facebook, that is John Chol Matiop. On TikTok, that is Poet K2 Poet _ K2, and on YouTube is Poet K2, and on Instagram Poet _ K2, and on my line, that is Safaricom. Yes. Yes.
You should drop your number as well. But no, I'll pin it.
My number? My number, okay, let me not talk much.
Okay. As we are finishing, what can you tell someone who has a dream?
In 3 words, I would say 3 things. 1, God's time is the best. Some of you right now may have been doing whatever that you're doing. You are drawing, you're singing, you're rapping, you're doing poems for the last 6 or 7 years, and you're not seeing any your art bearing any fruit. It takes you time. Like the way Barack Obama once said that it took there's this great woman that, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name, who wrote Harry Potter, book Harry Potter. It took her, the book was denied by almost 13 or 14 companies to publish the book. And it was now accepted. And right now, she's one of the richest authors in the world. So if it took her almost 15, 14 years, then your time is coming. So just be patient and do what you're doing. Second, hard work without being consistent is nothing. No matter what talent you have, but if you're not consistent, you don't do what you're doing very frequently. Like right now, news channels. Let me give an example of Citizen. They have to tell us news every day, from Monday to Sunday, on repeat. If by any chance right now, 1 week, they don't do that, people will switch to NTV, and their viewing numbers will reduce. Why is that? They are very consistent, and that's why one of this channel has been one of the best. So be consistent. Always do it every now and then. No matter what you go through, always do it. Never give up. Never give up. And the last, but not the least, be humble and disciplined in whatever that you do. Humbleness is key to everything. You can be the best in poetry, you can be the best in singing, but if you're not humble and you're not disciplined, cooperatives or people will not work with you. If, let's say, like right now, the way she is very disciplined and very respectful, that's why we're working. If she was that kind of a person, by the way, let me say this, people, so that you can know, I am the one that reached out to her. Yeah? And if she was another kind of a person who's very rude, she would have said, "Hi, who are you? You're not even known. Nobody knows you. So I'll be wasting my money eating here and using the camera. That is wasting of my time." But she was very humble, very respectful, and very disciplined. And I tell you, yeah, Adao, I'm telling you this. I'm not a prophet, but I'm prophesizing it at this end of this meeting that we're having. Believe me, if you continue with this without changing, you'll be one of the best talk shows that South Sudan has ever had. Believe me, I'm telling you that.
Inshallah.
There you say amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys. It was me and K2 having an eating and talking show. K2 man, I appreciate you man for
Thank you,
coming,
man.
for reaching out. See? It's my humble having you.
I'm very thankful. What I'm very thankful for is the food. No? So it's very sweet. Yeah, and getting to know you.
Oh, guys, we are
Sure.
eating. What is the food?
The vegetable rice.
With soda.
So if you're a vegan, this is what
Yeah,
you
it's a
eat
very
now.
healthy food, by
Yeah,
the way.
very healthy.
Very healthy.
And I love from here. Maybe we can go and eat mutura. Yes.
Okay, thank you guys for watching.
Subscribe.
And then I'm not happy. You can just view my videos and you don't subscribe. Please subscribe, support me,
Let me say something.
share, and like also.
Here's it. I'm saying this. Recently, when it was during the campaign period and the election period, you guys were posting politicians that don't know you even.
Imagine.
24/7. Right now it's the EPL season. You're posting teams that don't even know you. Someone can post the entire team from a dot. Understand? But right now, when someone is doing something active, someone that is so close to you, hamutaki kusupport. Wacha hypocrisy bwana.
Show me
Support,
love.
show love.
Show me love or
Support your own.
subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support, for the love. Yep. See you next time. If you want to see any your artists, your favorite artist, your favorite person, just comment his name or her name down and I'll bring her or him for you. Bye.